And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. We are off to the races for a Friday morning, already January the 23rd. How do you feel? It is Fun Friday. The entire gang will be here coming up at 7 o'clock, excluding Julia, that girl. She's out once again playing hooky. She'll be back in next week. We'll have a replacement coming up. Join us. It'll be fun. You can never really replace Julia, can you? Not impossible. That's not possible. As we get the all clear, as we get our latest weather update from the National Weather Service, Lauderdale County and Meridian is clear of ice for the weekend. Now, with that being said, we want to remind you that temperatures are going to take an extreme dive Sunday night. We're going to have rain Sunday morning. The temperatures will dive, and we want to be careful with possible black ice come Monday morning as kids go off to school. And we'll remind you of that as the weekend progresses and we get this forecast underway. But Lauderdale County, out of the clear here. Let's look at radar of what we've got this morning. I was go to Doc's Toyota radar. Again, this extreme weather is going to be north of here. As you'll see here, Lauderdale County, we don't have any threats. As you get to Louisville, a different story as we click here to Louisville. They're under a winter storm watch. As you get to areas including Amory, Mississippi, Winona, Greenwood, Mississippi Delta, it changes to an ice storm warning. Now, that's the serious stuff. I want you to look at this North Mississippi. Do not travel anywhere in the northern part of the state as we get into Saturday. Let it have it. Let Mother Nature take its course. As we get into all of this pink area, which includes Monroe, Shreveport, we even got this here at Olive Branch there, South Haven, Mississippi. This is a winter storm warning. So if you live, as we look at this, Clarksdale, Mississippi, if you're on this border here with Arkansas, Tunica, anywhere around here now, around Olive Branch, Horn Lake, these areas, again, are under the real deal, the winter storm warning. And it's going to be very, very bad here for a couple of days. As we look across here, and this stretches into Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Cookeville, Dixon, Paris, Tennessee, all of those areas are under this. Now, as we go here and we cross into Bama, the northern part of Bama, this is a winter weather advisory. Now, this is going to include Gadsden, all areas north of Birmingham, Jasper, Hamilton, Hayville, and if you're going to be heading up here near Scottsboro, Huntsville, where the Rocket, I think, used to be. I hadn't passed in a while, but I think they took that down. But we're being blessed on this as it comes to the storm. Now, let me show you the latest data that we're getting now from Jackson of what they're saying could and might happen here. Why isn't that going back? You ever have one of those issues to where something's not working right? I've got that. Let me see here. Let me just do it this way. I can fix it this way. It'll take me just a little bit longer to handle it. I'll just open up a new one. This is straight from the National Weather Service that was just released just a little bit ago. They put this out at 4 a.m. and it took them a little while to get it up and loaded. About 5:30 was when we finally got this. As we pull this up to show you what is happening for the state of Mississippi, as you see that Meridian is in the clear here. Now, we have a level 1. This includes portions of Kemper County, the majority of Kemper County, and then a portion of Knoxville County. Then more than half of Newton County will be under level 1. And this level 1 is very limited as what it's going to be doing. Freezing rain and sleet may cause hazardous travel conditions. Could get some sleet in those areas. It's not horribly bad there. As we get into Scott County and northern Smith County, and we take in almost all of Winston County, and you get into Lowndes County in those areas, and northern Knoxville County, this will be a level 3, which is potential impacts from freezing rain. Going to have power outages in these areas, dangerous travel there. As you get to that level 4, this is all of North Mississippi, including the Delta area. As you'll see, Greenville, Greenwood, Tupelo. As you get past Amory, going toward the state line, it's going to be very rough in those areas. That is a level 4. It's going to be extended times without power. You're going to have road conditions to where you just can't travel in ice all over the place. So be careful in North Mississippi. Now, as we say that, let's take a look what else we've got here. Let's talk about the cold. Meridian is not exempt from the cold. As I mentioned, we're going to have fairly good weather, some 40s and 50s, and then Sunday morning, as you're headed to church, it's going to be raining. The rain will taper off, and then temperatures will plunge. And when I say plunge, they will hit rock bottom, as we see temperatures in the Meridian area hitting 16. Louisville could see areas of about 8 degrees on Sunday night. And that's why I bring up the fact of any rain that is left over, the wind doesn't dry out during Sunday morning. We could have that black ice on some bridges comes Monday morning when the kids are trying to go to school. Now, we're not going to nearly have the weather. We just need to be careful and slow then. It doesn't end there. As we move into Monday, the high, and get this, if you've got a winter jacket, you better go find it. The high on Monday is only 33, and temperatures will plummet to 13 on Monday night. Now, this is an extended period. Sunday to Monday, there's going to be horrible here, as we'll see pipes busting with temperatures like this. Wrap your pipes. If you've got the PEX pipe, here's what's in. What I mean by that. It's that little panel. If you've had new plumbing put in or a newer home, they have little keys. You can go in and turn the water off to any portion of your house. Like if you've got outside faucets, you just go up and you turn that. It's great. I built my house, I think, 10 years ago, and it was available then. I've got that to where I can turn this off, and any faucet, any sink. Do y'all remember the old days there where you had to turn the entire water off to the house to fix a pipe? It's changing. That's something new. Keep that in mind. If you don't have that, make sure to wrap all of your outside faucets good, because it's going to be plummeting, and plummeting is bad there. Now, here's our next concern. This is going to be for the southeast Wyandotte area as we get into this. Lauderdale County, Clark County will be under it. Let me show you this. There is potential for severe weather on Sunday. This is going to be Sunday morning. Again, this will be anywhere east of the airport, southeast Clarkdale area as we get into all of this in Clark County. And then portions of Jasper County, Laurel, down to Wayne County will be under a level 1. A tornadic activity cannot be ruled out. It could be brief, but it cannot be ruled out Sunday morning as this rolls in. Damaging wind gusts, isolated severe storms are possible with this. And again, it's a level 1. It's not some drastic thing. It just means that it could happen. Now, with that same breath, have I sat here and gave you weather forecast when we were under level 1 and a tornado broke loose? I sure have seen it. So that's why we treat this. Again, this is going to be the southeastern side of Lauderdale County into Clark County. Clarkdale, you're under this. Energy, Snell, all of these areas into Clark County and Jasper County. Be on the weather lookout early Sunday morning for that type of weather. Now, there's still lots to talk about, lots to do as we get into the weather forecast and what it comes. All along, this storm system has been moving northward, and we see that as we finally get that little clear there. We'll be right back as we get into this and talk more about some headlines. All that's coming. Let's go to Collinsville now.
How much of God do you think lives in Jesus? 50%, 75%, 99%? Well, the answer is found in Colossians 1:19. For in Jesus, the fullness of God was pleased to dwell. That's 100%. Not some of God or most of God, not the best parts of God, all His fullness. Now think about what that means. Every attribute of God, His holiness, love, justice, mercy, power, wisdom, dwells completely in Jesus. Nothing's missing. Nothing's diluted. When you encounter Christ, you're not meeting a representative of God. You're meeting with God Himself in human flesh. This is why Jesus is supreme above every religious teacher or prophet or spiritual guide. Others might reflect an aspect of God's character or communicate God's words. Only Jesus contains all of God's fullness. Buddha, he pointed toward what he saw as an enlightenment. Muhammad, he claimed to speak for Allah. But Jesus claimed to be God and then backed it up by His life, death, and resurrection. Now, this means, beloved, that you can stop searching. I mean, some people spend their whole lives sampling different spiritualities, hoping to piece together this complete picture of God. But all of God is already found in Christ. You don't need Jesus plus something else. When you pray to Jesus, all of God hears you. And when you trust Jesus, all of God saves you. And when you follow Jesus, all of God guides you. He doesn't give you partial access. In Christ, you have everything that God is. And that's more than enough. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. But there's going to be a lot of sandwiches, a lot of extra bread that was bought up. Don't throw it away. You use it. And again, we're going to watch, early on we were saying there was a possibility of some snow next week. Way early to predict, but it was at one point in the forecast. We'll watch that, and that was for next Friday as we watch this. So keep what you got. If you fixed your generator, great. We're just now getting into the winter months in Mississippi as we go through February and March. You'll probably need this once again. You're okay. Anything north of Meridian, be on the lookout as we watch this winter weather. And we've got your complete forecast coming up in just a moment. As we get into headlines that are shaping America this morning, late night TV host. Since Jay Leno, I think the case was 2005, 2006. It was, Jay could have guests and not have to offer it to another political candidate that was running. If he had the president on, he didn't have to invite the vice president. Ruh-roh, they've changed it. Moving forward, anybody that does the talk show host on television will have to give equal time. Now, it hasn't happened to shows like mine yet. We try to do our very best to be equal, regardless whether you fall under that. We do. We do our very best. We offer it. Sometimes they don't show up. But they're making it law when it comes to television on that nighttime talk show host. TikTok, official now. It's been finalized. The deal continue as U.S. operations. It will be U.S. controlled. TikTok, it's popular. Y'all know that as well as I do. And there are so many Americans that now make their living off of TikTok. We're going to have to start expanding. We're on there, but we haven't really done a whole lot with it. Fraud. Let's touch on this a minute. Minnesota, as we well know, we'll talk about more about Minnesota in just a moment. Extremely, extremely fraud. But they're discovering that California, it may not even be in the shadows of where California is and the fraud that's been going on through the government with the same type actions that happened there in Minnesota. I'm not even going to say the figure. We'll wait to see. That could be hypothetical. But they're saying, as this begins, it could be multiple times worse than Minnesota. Let's see here. Vice President talking about that. He was recently in Minneapolis. Y'all remember that? He flew out there. People that didn't like him stood out in front of his hotel and they beat on things with wood sticks to make rackets so JD couldn't sleep. Only problem was he had landed in Washington 5 hours earlier and they were still standing in frigid temperatures of 5 degrees beating on things with wood handles. We say in the Deep South, bless them. I didn't realize Wyoming taking a step on this. I don't think Mississippi or Alabama has ever done this. They passed a law called the gold purchase, to where each year the state of Wyoming must purchase gold to secure the state. They bought some, and it's already worth $400,000 more than it was. Congratulations to them. Now, we're just learning all about this, but let me see if I can get my hands on this. Auto strikes. We have finally gotten the first arrest that have happened during the church. You know what I'm talking about? Where they invaded a church. They've arrested 3 people. Don Lemon has been blocked. They didn't arrest him. And they say there's cover up there. They're searching into this to find out what can be done. I was trying to find the picture of the 3. I've got it here somewhere, but I just can't seem to find it quickly there. But that's on the run. My, oh my, what a mess that is. What else do we have going on here? GM is going to be bringing cars back from China. The Buick SUV, they're going to be building these in America now. Isn't that great? Also, I didn't even realize this was going on, but there was a huge strike. United Auto Workers. They've been picketing and striking since September. Didn't even realize it. They've struck a deal to make them go back to work. They'll get more. Hurt Ford a lot. Their production, they're going to lose about 80,000 cars that were going to be built that could have been sold. It does hurt the bottom line when these happen, and, well, they know that. What else is going on this morning as we look at stories that are shaping America this morning all around? Let's go after this. Do you remember in Spain, we had two train wrecks there. About 42 people were killed in it. The next day they had another wreck. that one person lost their life and a puppy dog was lost. And it seemed to give hope for Spaniards as they looked for that. He's been found. The pup that was thrown from the train and he ran off scared, he's been found. A little bit of hope there during a bad time. Let me show you this. This caught my eye this morning as I was looking at this. Minneapolis. There's a lot of things going on. Does anybody believe in premonition? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But I want you to see this picture. And this comes from a guy named Nick Sorta. He's been up doing news and things. Look at this fella sitting on the pole there. He's right by the camera there, the American bald eagle looking over Minnesota. Is it a premonition of what's to come? Not sure. We do see that now. I think you know this by now. Mike Lindell, he's already filed the paperwork. He's going to be running for governor of Minnesota. We also learn now that paperwork has been done on the Democratic side. She has been a senator for years upon years in the state of Minnesota. Amy Klobuchar, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly. I could be close. I could be a little off. I'm close to the way you pronounce it, but she has filed her paperwork to run for governor of Minnesota. We'll see what happens at that. They have a gunman that is at loose in Australia after leaving 3 people dead and 1 wounded. On the loose, they're searching for him. I hope he is brought to justice there. JD's still calling for temperatures to drop there in Minnesota. Calm down. Now, by now, you've seen the picture of the 5-year-old. JD spoke on this yesterday. As ICE agents went to arrest someone who was in our country illegally, the man ran. I call this a coward. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. The man runs, leaves behind his 5-year-old son to stand in the cold by himself. ICE agents were seen picking up the child, placing it in a car. Screams and people were yelling at the United States officers for doing this. And JD said, do y'all not understand that we are not going to leave a 5-year-old child standing on the side of the road while its parent runs? Again, this is not ICE agent's fault. It's a coward of a father that ran. Would I run from my son if I was in trouble? Absolutely not. I don't think anybody in this room that's sitting here with me would do such a thing. It's an act of coward. That's all it is to it. See, the United States doesn't work that way. We are the land of the brave, and we've got some heroes here. Your children are the most valuable thing in this world. You stand with them to the end. That's my philosophy. You may not agree with me. We might not could have coffee if you don't stand for things of that. I did find the picture now. I had told you I was going to find this. We've got to put a stop to this. You don't interrupt church services. I mentioned yesterday to where there was a church in Minneapolis where another religion came in, was praying to Allah. That is strictly losing your church when you allow that. Here's the 3 people that have been arrested for this as we go to Kash Patel. He's the director of the FBI. Here are the 3 people, as you look at this, that have been arrested for interrupting that church service. Now, you'll notice all agents got their backs to us because they don't want to show their faces. They can't. Here's the guy. Do you remember him? He did a video that said, come and get me if you can. Congratulations, they just did that. Now again, we've got a judge that has blocked Don Lemon being arrested, who was in there agitating this, is the way I guess we could put this. But there's connections to people in the Minnesota government that judge is tied to. Most likely, paperwork will be filed and other things will be done and be able to do this. This I don't get, and we'll move on to weather again and close out the show. Businesses in Minneapolis today are planning close Friday to protest ICE. Now, I'm not a rocket scientist, and I've never worked at NASA. Again, I'm just an average old boy that lives in Mississippi. But if you close your doors, you don't make money. Is this really smart? Who is it hurting? It ain't hurting ICE by any means. It's you. That's how you pay your bills. Use a little smartness there. We'll be right back as we get into this weather forecast next.
Okay, so can we go over this just one more time? So when we buy a brand new air conditioner,
Environment Masters gives you the furnace for free.
But the catch is...
There's no catch, just free.
it's got to be like a cheap one, right?
No. And you get to choose between Linux or Train.
And all we have to do is buy a new air conditioner?
And Environment Masters gives you the furnace for free.
Can we go over this one more time?
J&J Tire Muffler, located at 3420 8th Street, invites you by. And if you need a front-end alignment, make sure to try their new state-of-the-art alignment machine. No matter the size of your truck and car, J&J can align it. J&J also has touch-free mounting, laser wheel balancing, and as always, they provide preventive maintenance, including CV axles, shocks, struts, brakes. They carry the Nixon tire with free roadside hazard service, along with high-tread used tires. Locally owned and operated since 1978 in Meridian. Welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty. Let's get into this forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Now, again, if you're just tuning in, we give the all clear for Lauderdale County. No ice is projected. Temperatures will stay above it. The storm has moved northward. As we go back for our record highs and lows, it was 1943. We had that hot temperature of 82. Back in 63, many of you remember this. It was 8 degrees today, and don't worry, we're going to get close to that come Sunday and Monday. As we look at our outlook today, 55 is the high as we get toward the state line there at Tennessee, about 43. Even 40 over in South Haven, maybe 39. As we go down the river, 55 at Vicksburg and 66 on the Gulf Coast. Nice weather there. Tonight we'll see 34. Look at this. The rain has moved northward of Meridian. We won't see it here. North of Philadelphia, as you get into Noxapater, you'll start seeing rain. As you get near Mississippi State, a little bit heavier. And by the time you get to Oxford there, Ole Miss, it'll be even colder. Wetter is what I meant to say. As you get up to South Haven, it'll be heavy rains in those areas. As we look at the outlook here for Alabama, it looks like over in the eastern side, over in Auburn, they'll get a little rain in Auburn. But hey, not so bad there in Minneapolis with a high of 55, and nippy in Birmingham at 49. Well, let's see what else we got here. Here's what we looked at on Sunday afternoon. This is the only chance that we'll have in this immediate area for this. Meridian, all clear, as you see here. And again, portions of northern Kemper County, eastern, southeastern Neshoba County under a level 1. As we move forward from that, we get to that level 2, which includes Columbus, Louisville, over in Scott County. Those areas there will be a level 2. Eupora to Yazoo is a level 3. And then everything north of there will fall under that level 4, which is treacherous weather that is going to be coming into the state. Something to keep in mind. If you live in Meridian, I'd stay in Meridian. I don't think I would go to Mississippi State this weekend. Let them have the weather. Let that calm down. All right, what else we got going on today? Here's the cold, dangerous weather. We're at a level 2 in the Meridian area, including Newton, portions of Kemper. As you cross on into Neshoba County, you'll notice you get to a level 3. It's going to be even colder there, northern Kemper, Noxubee County, and then by the time you get to the Mississippi Delta around Columbus Air Force Base, all the way north to the Tennessee line, it will be a level 4 of cold weather. That means don't even open your front door. That's what that means. Just sit inside and stare out. It'll be a whole lot warmer to do that. As we look at this ice storm, as we saw it, it's going to be north of here. As we look here, here's that level 1 area for the southeast area. Why not a level 1 possible severe storm on Sunday, all the way down, taking in Clark County and portions of Jasper County. As we see here, it's just, I almost used a word I shouldn't, it's just going to be cold. Let me say it that way. As we look at our 7-day outlook, here's what we got. I almost skipped it, didn't I? Here we are, 55 for today, 47 on Saturday. We'll see 50 during the daytime as it warms up there and down to 16. Now, again, we have to watch the black ice going into Monday due to the fact that it's raining Sunday morning. It will stop, but temperatures dive to 16. By Monday, we only get to 33 to 35. They just adjusted the forecast, and they moved it down 2 degrees to 33 for a high. And I want to say it's going to be 13 for a low on Monday night now. Move that down 1 degree. Not much better on Tuesday, 45, low of 23. We're still into the 40s all the way through Thursday with lows below freezing each night. Now, as we move all the way to February the 6th, you'll see here that as we end the month, we're still below freezing at night at 26 on January 31st. February 1st rolls in with a high of 45, a low of 25. And finally, after we get to about the 3rd of February, temperatures will start rising above freezing at night. Now, again, this is projected. We're 2 weeks out. This could make a little bit of a change between now and then. What's happening with our fishing world? Best times to fish today. Looks like it will be 3 o'clock this afternoon through about 5. We have a minor time this morning around 8:40 if you want to go out. Big thanks to Parker Wholesale. Now, let's get into our deer hunting as the rut is on. What do you need to do today? Light north wind increasing 5 to 10, wind gust up to 20 miles an hour. Could be Burr. 2:56 this afternoon, be in your deer stand all the way till dark. This morning from 9 until 10 is another minor time to be there. But again, all bets are off. We are deep in the middle of the rut. Any time is a good time to be in the woods now between January 31st. Sunrise happened at 6:53 this morning. We'll hit sunset at 5:20 tonight. It's going to be nice there. Let's go back to live radar one more time before we get to the morning show. Let me skedaddle back over here to my radar screen. As we pull this up, we are picking up some fog this morning, as you'll see this down in Clark County. Look at this, stretching over to Bay Springs. Boy, you might not even be able to see the post office there. Lake Edens has got fog and very thick over at Hazelhurst to McGee. Over in Alabama, we're showing this as well. Chatham, Alabama, Central Nell, Grove Hill, Jackson, even Thomasville, Alabama, having a lot of fog this morning. That's your breakdown that we're looking at here. Now, again, as we look at this, any blue area will be a winter storm watch. The purple area, and my wife called it something else, a different color. That's an ice storm warning. I'd have to go back and read my little notes. And as you get into this, she said that was actually purple. That is a winter weather advisory, and anything pink on the screen is called a winter storm warning, which is the real deal that's here. I have to have color coding. Sometimes my colors don't match everybody else. I'll say orange, and they say, no, it's more yellow. You know how it is. Already 6:57 as we get the morning show underway. Special guests coming up, filling in for Julia this morning. She couldn't be with us. She skipped town once again on us. Left Without Warning. Isn't that a TV show? Left Without Warning? I think it is. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us, and we'll get lots to talk about this morning at the Scotty Ray Report. Join us, won't you?